This is a second video I'm doing where I'm just gonna talk about things that are on my mind. Bit of ranting, bit of rambling, a little bit. I don't know if it would be vlog style. I don't really think I watch what would be considered vlog channels, but playing some video games, gonna talk. Think I'll just do 2 or 3 games of Teamfight Tactics here, maybe. So the new, I think they call it like a set or edition, whatever it is. A new one of those is out. So it's I've done 1 game on it so far. Seems interesting. All new. Bunch of different champions in here and a bunch of different traits that you can build up to, and then there's this whole augment system. You never played Teamfight Tactics. I mean, it's in League of Legends here, so it's like a side mode. It's not like the main game. So if you don't like standard League of Legends, then this is actually like not really like it. I think it's based off something that's like called either Auto Chest or like Dota Auto Chest or some shit I haven't played before. Okay, I got a champ. And we're talking about the game a little bit, just as we go, but got other stuff I want to talk about too. But also, this is this is my second game I'm playing here, and this shit's all new, so I don't. It's like I don't remember what I did. Chemtrail, whatever, the one with like Singed and Twitch. And that was cool. I got second in the game, so that was fun. So let's see. So there's 4 enforcers. They can stun an enemy at the start of combat. That's interesting. And yeah, I read a little bit of the patch notes just to know that there was new stuff, but otherwise, then yeah, I don't know what. I don't know what anything here is actually about. So let's do a little quick look into snipers, bonus damage for far away attacks. Actually, that's really basic. Clockwork, they get increased attack speed. And the augments you get from further in the game increase it. And okay, it applies to your team, not just the champions with that. Oh shit. Oh. Real quick, is there already someone who's sitting on 4 Imperials? Okay, no. So I guess I'm gonna go Imperial this game. Let's see if I can fucking find one. What's Imperial do? Okay, let's see. So at the start of combat, they become the tyrant. Tyrant dies, the one who does damage. Okay, so that's cool, but that's also a smaller thing, so I need something else to help like edge that in. And as I said, I don't know what any fucking champions do. All right, we'll focus. We'll just see what happens. It's not that serious. It's not that big a deal. Try not to focus too hard on the game. And yeah, oh boy, sure is fun to go Imperials with no one who's valid for it. Who are? Hi, Zyra. I guess I'm incidentally going sniper. Let's see, Caitlin's got her big charge up shot from her ulti. Cog's got damage, range, attack speed boost thing. Okay, I mean it's W. And Tristana, she was in the last set, but she had an attack speed increasing thing. This time it's her ultimate she has. That's cool, that's neat. And I'm just waiting to get some Imperials. I guess I guess there's only 4 of them, so I would have needed some kind of bonus to. Oh, wow, good one. Nice. So I had one video a few weeks, like a month ago. I'm so inconsistent on actually making videos. Trying to work on that. And let's see, are any of these? What are you even? You Clockwork and Challenger? I mean, I guess if all these snipers, I'm better off having someone who's trying to be a tank. I know Garen can be a tank. I don't have any great items I super feel like building right yet. But yeah, so the last video I did was half just playing Endless Space 2. And the reason I'm not playing Endless Space 2 is because that game is very engaging and groping. Or engaging. I don't know why I use the word groping there. I don't know what that fit to. It's very engaging. Engrossing. That's the fucking word I want. It's an engrossing game, so it made hard to talk to. Teamfight Tactics, I like it, it's fun, but there's a lot of downtime and a lot of watching your guys fight, so it's probably a lot easier to talk during. And on the recording end, I also boosted my mic volume a bit, because it was definitely too low. And yeah. Like I don't know what anyone does in this game right now. What the fuck's a socialite? Oh. Huh. That's fucking weird. That's cool. I also put a noise filter on though, because for some reason without a noise filter, it sounded like there was a fan pointed straight at the webcam. Like just very loud. Like I didn't even hear it. I didn't even hear it normally, but it was just in the recording. It was just a under thing, so happy to have gotten rid of that. That's a loss. Yep. Got a loss in there. Let's see. On the second. Okay, they call it the shared draft. I always call it like the carousel. I mean, it's a shared draft and it's a carousel. And ooh, I got. Oh yeah, okay. Let's get some fucking people. I got first pick because I'm doing so badly. Yes, it's excellent. It's what the socialists want. This game is socialism. Riot is a communist company. But so talking about things. Well, shit. I'm gonna keep just getting stun locked by just seeing what stuff I have in here. Ooh, so interesting. Actually, I'm get some arrows. Double here on you would actually probably not be too bad since your thing's so low cost. You can just spam the hell out of it. What's your other thing? Challenger. Yeah, it's that thing. Yeah, all right. We'll just leave it be. We'll just leave it be here. So topics. I guess I'll say with the point of these, I don't inherently know what like the point of these videos I'm doing is. I think I've got an idea with it. It's partly it's fun. Partly I like talking. I've I've got thoughts. I want to share them. So doesn't do to just like only talk to my wonderful partner about all the various things I think. Okay, we finally got Imperial. Cool. So I guess that's gonna be you. Oh, but I got that finally. And it's something I realized that some of what would be like a barrier for me, something I just realized that would lead me to kind of procrastinate is having that idea of like what the point of the video is or what the goal of it is. And then it's like wanting to do that best. It's kind of the reason I'm moving away or like I'm doing stuff like this. This is more just ad lib and not a video essay. Because video essays are cool and fine. And the thing about a video essay is it's like, you're doing all the work beforehand so you can put something out that's fairly like declarative or just very you've done the research, you've gotten all the facts in order, you've looked at some counterpoints, you've got well-crafted thing that can cover all the bases and go a couple layers deep on the topic. And that shit's great. Like, example, but the YouTuber Sean some months ago had a video about the US bombing, nuclear bombings of Japan. It's like a 2 hour video, and it was really interesting. There was just a lot of info in there. He cited a lot of sources, a lot of stuff from people who were like military people who were directly involved in the thing that was happening. Let me see what the hell is this. What do you do? Okay, you're back. I'm not really having code do much of anything aside from the. Yeah, we'll get the two of them on it. So, video essays. I mean, a good video essay. Good video essays are good. It's very totally possible for a video essay to be shit and worthless, inaccurate, false, waste of time. Plenty of those exist too. Okay, and you wouldn't really benefit from the damage boost, but the mana per second wouldn't help you so much. Okay, let's just put no one else going. Imperial, because that's my problem. Okay, doesn't seem like they are. We seem to be doing shitty. I'm at the bottom here. I don't know. Bad luck, bad rolls, bad comp. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's my second game. I'm more interested in the talking. More interested in the talking. Actually, yeah, I think we might. This one gets that. We'll do a one shot with the Caitlyn thing. The video essays are good, but I think, yeah, it was kind of creating a bit of a procrastination thing in me because it's like there's all this time you spend on the script, and let's see. Well, I don't really want that because I don't have my channers, and I don't want that because I know you can. I'm sure it's valid, but this one's the most straightforward for me to have. Yeah, who's down here? Nothing. Oh, it's actually kind of good. Oh, stairs. Can I get a little? Yeah, I'm trying not to get stun locked. I don't know. Don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just let it roll. Yeah, so with video essays, you gotta spend a lot of time. I mean, it takes a lot of time. There's a lot of effort to the research and the writing and practicing it and then editing it and studying what to do with visuals and like how much effort do you put into the visual elements or how much are they complementary, and that's something you can think of when you're writing it, and you can it's a really rich medium. I mean, you got video, you got audio, you have all the kind of editing and crafting you can do through the computer system. But then just as the individual doing it, it's just like it's really time consuming. It's a lot of effort, and then you're doing that to whatever like specific topic your essays focused on. That's all you get out of it. And I'm realizing that that's probably not for me. Just the whole planning and all the amount of time. That's not just the actual like recording time. That this feels a lot more doable because it's like let me level up. Swain. That going to 4 really helps us, but we need to set up. So man, I have like fuck all for items. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do more kind of just live, maybe play a video game. Maybe I won't be playing a video game in all of them. You know, I could just have Paint open when I get into the subject. I mean, it's partly it's like a little rewarding for me to just also be playing the video game. I their Teamfight Tactics set. I'm seeing it. So that's fun for me. No matter what happens with this video or where it goes, I at least can say I get something out of this. Ah, my comp sucks. Okay. This is gonna be a short. This is gonna be a short game at this rate. We'll see. But yeah, then that other issue was the essays. It's like kind of wanting it to be. It's like this very declarative thing. But then it's like just what about other thoughts you have or thoughts you have later, or just what about you do a video essay on a topic, and then later you just you see something in the news and it's just a small thing, but it's like very relevant to what the topic was, and it's like we already made the video essay, so you can't like go, it wouldn't really make sense to go back and add it in. And okay, you could do like a tweet, to, if you got a Twitter, I've got a Twitter, whatever, you can do that. But it was just something I was thinking about where it's like, it's this weird pressure to like want to nail everything, but then, I mean, stuff's changing and there's new info all the time. Or just, there can be new current events that tie back to previously discussed thing. And it's like I might want to make those points. So probably leaning towards doing a more casual format like this. You can still talk about the same type of things you would in a video essay. It's not as well crafted. Wow, I got a lot of fucking items. So let's get that. Let's take a second to figure out what my team comp is right now. I'll swap the Swain out just because he's not increasing the Imperials yet, so I don't super need him. And then shit. Who else do I? Oh, oh jeez. Items. But I also just kind of realized just from my own conversations with people and how I tend to talk, I sometimes think it's a bit of an ADHD thing. It's not just the way I think, but it's like I'll have a lot of things connected. I'll have like various connections, and I don't always, I can't like always predict what connection's gonna jump out at me as something worthwhile and relevant. I'm just gonna do some random item creations here. I mean, the mana doesn't matter, but the healing and the damage is probably cool there. Oh wow, it goes to what's the dummy gonna do? Maybe if I have a dot a damage over time, that'll kill them while their last guy is punching the dummy. I don't know. Dummies, yeah, just have a bit of help. super crazy powerful. Let's see how you do the armor reduction. Oh yeah, so you get the 20 mana for shots. So between that and the blue buff, you are actually just constantly doing super strong enhanced attacks. That's kind of fun. Oh wow, that Heimerdinger is just gonna fucking destroy me, isn't he? Yep, yep. It's sad. It hurts. It hurts so sad. First off the gate. All right, give me the spatula. But yeah, some more conversational style. So talking for 20 minutes here. I apologize if it's a bit slow and not the highest quality. I'm very new at this. I'm not a professional video maker, politic, talker guy yet. Okay, here is Scion. Let's just wait. What? Oh shit. Oh, that's fucking nuts. Okay, I didn't realize Scion was built different. Okay, well, geez, we gotta look at Scion. What the fuck does he do? Colossus. Immune to crowd control effect. Holy shit. That's awesome. Can add a Chemtech or oh, I could make it Imperial, but going above 5 wouldn't really do anything. Making a Arcanist though would give everyone AP, so that's kind of nice. Let's just take that. That seems the most generically helpful to have. And let's just keep leveling up because I have no idea what I'm doing. These characters. Wow, so good. You know, let's just give our boy Scion some extra beef. There we go. Now you've got way too much health. And here, I think at this point I've done enough talking about. I mean, I could say more and I could keep going. You know, wow, I'm just fucking out of the game. Damn. Well, at least next fight here is against whatever the Raptors. Get some items and components out of that. Hopefully. Yeah, fuck Imperials. Imperials fucking suck. Trash trade. Fucking worthless. Needs buffs so bad. I lost on it, so it's inherently a bad trait because I lost while going for it. See, I'm at 5, but I didn't win, so it's super imba, and Riot is attacking me by making the trait I used in this game not win when I'm like so good and clearly the best player ever and can never lose, except for Riot attacking me because they are too biased. Okay, Talon, you're getting that, and you're getting that. What is? Okay, looks good. Canis for some extra AP. But yeah, okay. I could talk forever. I mean, I could keep talking about my own thoughts and processes, but I'm not intending this video to be entirely like self-therapy dump. So I will move away from that now. And, ooh, Janna's in this one, and she's got her ultimate for the big AoE heal. That can be fun. And wow, looking at that damage chart. Samira doing... What happened to my talent in that one? He got wrecked. He got wrecked somehow. Academy Challenger. Throw a Shaco in here just so I have assassins. Assassins are fun. And then I will just hold off. Hold off. And I see that one. He's also Galio, I think. He's a Colossus, and he's the last socialite. So we'll see if we get to him. Because I guess, I mean, to have the two Colossuses, that'd be 4. Be taking up 4 spaces on your comp. That's a lot. Oh wow, that is actually pretty great that those things can eat, like, targeted spells. And I'm fucking out on this game. Yeah. That's how that one was going. That's how that one was going. We'll just... doing my placements for ranked. And I need to run to the bathroom real quick, so... Alright, snapping back in. Quick old bathroom break. Gonna play again. I realize that since I don't actually have any game sound on, because it's Teamfight Tactics and I don't care, rather, just listen to a podcast or a YouTube video normally. But I realized I don't need to actually have my headphones on. Just kind of make me a bit warmer. Because I also turned my fan off. I don't know. My fan was gonna... I'm gonna take an experiment here because I can feel myself starting to sweat a little bit. It's just warm in here, so I'm gonna turn the fan on. I hope it's not. I hope it doesn't like shit fuck the sound. But I need to not be starting to sweat. It's... Look at this shirt. If I sweat in this shirt, I have to wash it more often. I don't want to. I don't know how well this shirt will hold up to a wash. It probably should, and it's fine because it was an expensive shirt. I got this shit. It's fucking expensive. Let's. Did I get the Camille? Okay, I got the Camille. I'll just go whatever the fuck Camille's thing was. That clockwork thing, I think. It was like attack speed. Look at that. Anyway, I don't know. I'm in my apartment. Why would I want to stand here sweating in my apartment when I have fans that make it so I don't sweat? Okay, let's see. So we got Clockwork and Challenger. They get bonus speed, and when they get a takedown, they get an even bigger bonus of speed. Okay, that could be fun. And then Clockwork just kind of ties into that and is a much smaller amount of champions. Wow, I'm going to be able to just build a Rage Blade if I want real early. The fucking best shit. Let's see. What the fuck is Mercenary? Oh, okay. Mercenaries are Draconic / Pirates. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. I almost clicked the thing I didn't want. So that'd be good for Yordles. That'd be... Huh. It's kind of interesting, because the first thing on Socialite was just... Shit, wait, that actually sounds really strong if I go Yordles. Guess I'm going Yordles for some fucking reason. Alright, guess it's Team Yordles from me. Let's hope no one else goes Yordles, because I'm watching this motherfucker. I guess I might be going. I hope I go Yordles because I just got a thing that's literally only gonna. All the things I got were kind of specific to something. Blah. Yeah, bodyguard's the taunty armor boost things. That's fine. Nice. Okay, that helps. That helps a bit. Oh yes, 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 it helps. Let's get all our Yordles in here. And hey, let me look at what they actually do. What do they do? Okay, you've got a shield that expires and explodes. Vex. I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to the standard League of Legends anymore, so I don't know what the fuck anyone is. Like I don't. They keep adding new champions. It's crazy. Ooh, you got the. Okay, you just got the big ass ulti bomb. Every third cast, you do 3 waves. Okay. So that's cool. Arcanus Yordles works for more AP. And after each player combat, I get a random Yordle added to my bench. Well, that sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yeah, okay, I don't know who to build a Rage Blade or anything on, so I'm gonna hold off a little. I'm gonna hold off a little building items. How about things that are on my mind? See, that's what I want. I mean, some of the person videos, I don't. There's a YouTuber named Vosh. I like him. I've probably mentioned him at some other point, but just I like him. I like the shit he does. So I'm taking probably some ideas or inspirations from him in a way. I actually do really like what he does, just in general. Just the mix of like gaming and politics and debates, because he does gaming streams, but it's not like the focus. That's just a side thing because he likes video games. I like video games. Then you got the debates and the politics coverage and the general reacting to things, or going over other videos and doing the kind of video essay breakdown. I don't know exactly what to call it, but I like all that shit. So I think I'm trying to just do a bit of that on my end. So things to talk about. There's like I was saying, just about video essays where I've got a bunch of topics in mind, but it's like they're big fucking topics like BLM and capitalism and what is coercion and moral realism and atheism and religion. And, they're real big fucking topics that you can easily fill a goddamn book. You can fill many, many multiples of books over these topics. And they're important topics. But I think also there's nothing inherently wrong or bad about the format of a video, and you just put it out. It's a way to talk to people, and you can just talk to people. You can just do that. You can just directly make a thing and be kind of talking to people. Obviously, I'm doing this not live, it's pre recorded. I hopefully remember to edit out the bathroom break because otherwise, that's just going to be a minute of dead air. I'm in the other room. But it's like, I get the way I'll try to, well, I want to kind of try to describe here, I guess. I'd say that, ooh, I could gunblade on you. That wouldn't be too bad. Okay, let's see. Is anyone else going? This guy's going. Yeah, he might be going on this. Him also. Shit. Well, whatever. At least this Yordle thing apparently gives me free Yordle, so that helps a bit. Actually, okay, I'm missing the 2 green ones. Oh, so there's no Yordles that are more than 3 cost. That's interesting. I have to see where else I. Oh, okay, that's a reason to keep Blitzcrank around as a bodyguard. Maybe get more bodyguards or. Okay, I should get a scholar because 3 mana sounds pretty fucking nice. Cool, cool, yeah. So you just actually got free zigs there, so that's why he went up a level. Uh, yeah, I'm using placeholder words like and I try not to. It's just it's a natural human thing. Everyone does it to some extent, but you can definitely be a bit more mindful of your language and try to cut out such things or recognize when they're a sign of you not. Okay, the little symbol on there is because of the scrap thing, I think. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It's they can belay a lack of confidence when you're umming and awing a lot because it's like you wouldn't be umming or awing if you knew what the fuck you wanted to say, right? Ooh, ooh. And shit doesn't need to be all that hard and intense all the time. But me saying 5 seconds ago also wasn't necessarily adding a whole lot of extra value to the sentence. Blitzcrank, what do you got? You got a rocket grab, a rocket grab. But you over here, let's see. Blitzo. Okay, I got the bodyguard. So, something I'm gonna say though. I think this might be maybe one of my more primary concerns. I sure it's come off. I have a lot of political concerns and thoughts and opinions and goals and causes. And something that I think is a big problem and that I can potentially make some kind of leeway on by virtue of just talking about things. And let me actually figure out what items do I want to put down on anybody. That's a god, but that'd be where to put that under stuff. Just keep holding off. Fuck it. I'll just keep holding off. Do I really know what I want to build? And all my Yordles have 35% dodge chance, so that seems like really good. 35% dodge chance on all my Yordles? Sounds like really fucking good. Like, because when it comes to auto attacks, that's basically a 35% reduction in damage over time if you're dodging a third of them. You know. All right, no, I won't do that. I'm not gonna beat myself up for having fucking phrases and shit I say. I mean, it's not inherently bad. Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, both of you, both of you. Ooh. Oh, hey, I got Tristana now too. Okay, so Yordles. 1, 2. I'm at 4. I need Lulu and Trist. So it's not a huge thing to add. Let's see, they're all at level 4, which makes me. Question would be adding Zyra and Scholar. So I think I'll just keep it as it is. Play it safe. This is what I mean. This is how I talk. I'm just constantly flipping between the two things here. Playing the new teamfight tactics was a mistake. No, I should just open up Paint and not play a fucking video game. But I like video games, so that's what I chose. Maybe in the future. Uh, so I'll say something I find that's concerning is that when it comes to disagreements on, say, political topics, okay, I gotta pick the thing here. Fuck, this is, yeah, shit. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. Oh, okay. Shit, that's kind of nice. Oh, man, that's actually pretty nice, especially with the dodge chance. Okay, we'll go like this. See, the taunting I don't necessarily need because the bodyguard thing already gives you a taunt. Interesting, interesting, interesting. But something I find a lot, it's, I'll just say what it is because that'll make more sense than building up to it. It's that when it comes to people's disagreements and like conflict, especially say in the realm of politics, technically this applies to just a lot of shit because people are bad at communicating. But an issue is that a lot of political disagreements, it's not that like two people they've looked at the same information and they've both have built up they've they've obtained, through whatever it was, they've got a comprehensive qualified understanding of what the relevant information was. This is shit that's a bit subjective, so you can see why some of it would be, kind of hard to determine. What is the relevant information? How would you know if you don't know? But it's a lot of political shit, and I'm in the USA, so it's like really, it's a problem. It's a problem in every country, but in the USA, it's like it is really fucking bad. It is so fucking bad that just people lack information, and the like doubled up issue on that is that people don't know what they don't know. That might be some just old Socrates shit to be saying that. It's kind of nice. I'll put you there. So, oh, you only have 3 range. Okay. You just have 2. Copy. You're my tank. You can get us on Fire Cape. I like Sunfire Cape. Sunfire Cape's a good item. Oh, he's getting stunned by, I think, what's their thing? Shit, I don't know what the hell happened that at the start. Maybe that, oh, fuck me. Yeah, okay, I guess they did have Enforcer. They had the Enforcer hard, and then they maybe had like another champ. I think it's just 2. Well, now this is happening. Sorry, Ziggs. You're getting the fuck out of here. I guess since I get 3 Yordles just for playing, I guess I wonder if I should just buy up levels and just start putting fucking rank 4 and 5. Well, actually, I still don't even have levels. Get them in there. We'll get to it. So the thing I'm trying to say, though, and fucking all of Allah's blessings upon you if you're able to track and follow along with me on this, because I'm aware that I'm doing things in a very fragmented way. Uh, I'm open to feedback. I'm open to feedback if this is not working for people. Of course, I also basically I don't like really have any viewership. It's not some sad thing. It's a youngish channel. I upload inconsistent as hell. I don't promote it anywhere. I don't. It's not like I should be getting at least 30, 40 views on these videos, and yet I don't. No, I get it. I get it. I've had 1 or 2 other YouTube channels and similar. Yeah, it's fucking. It's a busy space. People got lots of other shit to watch. It's very hard to justify that they're gonna watch you. You're the one they need to watch. Well, okay, that's that whole cohort together. I don't know. I really, your shit seems really interesting, but I just haven't got any fucking AP items that would like back it up. So at least this will actually it'll actually give you some AP. And it'll give you some defense, which also seems kind of tied in with your whole thing being a shield. So, okay, wow. We fucking just rolled that guy. That's interesting. I had that in my first game, that weak spot one. Like I was saying, people, they misunderstand things. Or it's this idea, and it's a very old idea. I know I'm not coming up with it, all acknowledgement there, but it's people don't know what they don't know. And if that sounds hard to follow, just what it means is that if there's some topic, if there's some like area of study, or there's a set of information that exists on something, and you don't know that it exists, you also probably, yeah, I say probably because you can have different levels of awareness, as we'll get to, but you may not know that you don't know about it because that's what not knowing about something is. You don't have there's no box there. There's no option there. And you might not see that lack of an option. It's not like, say, in a video game where you open up the achievements list and you can see that there are achievements that aren't filled in, or aren't like activated or complete, and you can go, oh, okay, I don't have those achievements, but I see them here in the list. There's this list of achievements in the video game. And maybe some of them are hidden, but even then, the game will tell you that there are 6 hidden achievements. And usually, the hidden achievements are for like story-related things that they don't want to spoil by. They don't. If there's a different boss that you can fight at the end of the game, they might not want to put that in an achievement because then someone could just see that and be like, oh wait, shit, that's a spoiler. That guy betrays you because there's an achievement for killing him, but I'm starting the game and he's like your buddy, so why would you kill him? So that makes sense. Real life doesn't fucking have that shit. Real life doesn't have that shit. You know, what's being informed mean? What's being knowledgeable mean? What does it mean to know enough about something to feel comfy? How do you determine when you should feel comfy speaking on a subject? Oh, let me just see what item I want. Ah, shit, there's no AP. Well, I might just end up taking what I can fucking get at this rate. I kind of want that for some reason. I'll make the U one that does the healing. Probably. Woo! Finally got. Well, now, finally awake. I'll switch you in the back. And you know what? I'm going to actually put that on Lulu as a kind of backline. I was originally going to put it on Poppy, but I think it might be more useful in the backline here. And okay, compared to my last game, this one's going a lot better. I'm in second place. So on the knowing stuff, something I'm sure we've all personally had an experience where someone was making statements or assumptions on a topic, and you knew more about the topic than they did. 3 AD and AP per trade. I've got 5 trade. I mean, I've got 5 trades right now. Actually, no. It doesn't sound like a ton, but it's also, I mean, it's free just boost on every unit. I don't really want to scrap. I guess I'll kind of just take that. That just sounds okay to grab. So we've all had an experience, probably. it can be general, it can be on something minor, but if someone was saying something and you you knew that what they were saying was incorrect or misinformed because you had seemingly, maybe you guess that you might maybe you know more about it than they do because you can see why they're wrong. So if they're not lying, it must be that they're lacking some info, lacking some context, misinterpreting or misunderstanding something because they're wrong about the thing. And you know they're wrong because you actually literally know better. It could be, this could happen for anything. What what type of moves is a ground rock type Pokemon weak against? There are right and wrong answers to that question. And there's a whole matrix on the Pokemon wikis of what type moves are good against what other types. It's a fairly objective, straightforward thing there. Or other stuff. This probably, I'd say, probably happens a lot to people with work-related things because you got your work, whatever your job is. Whatever your fucking job is, it's your job. You're spending a fairly significant amount of time on it every week for months, years. Potentially you went to college and were studying stuff also related to it if it's a job that's like related or predicated on getting college-based information in there. And ooh, let me just see if I let me just see if I ooh, okay. I'm gonna give Tristana some big old crittles. Big old crit Tristana. Yeah. Big old crits from a girl in the back. Oh yeah, their abilities do cost less mana. That's dope. That's dope as fuck, dude. And actually, I do kind of like the healing A from Heimerdinger because I put the Gunblade on him and they made it so Gunblade also heals the lowest health ally, which is really fucking useful. Because otherwise, yeah, the issue is that Gunblade is kind of like overly specific because it's like it doesn't even do anything on certain champions if they don't have the right if they don't have a decent way to do magic or true damage. I mean, some champs just don't really like Tristana's shit here. Yeah, it's all physical damage. Tristana can't do shit with the fucking Gunblade. It's just as ability damage. Yeah, magic and true damage from ability. So like that works on Heimer. That works on Heimer real well. Oh yeah, and I've also just got it where everyone's got some free AD and AP from the trait bonus thing. But so on the job example, I'm sure we've all had that experience. We're just, maybe it's just someone asks a question, they don't really know, so they just ask like, hey, what's that about? What's the deal with that thing? Why is the ice cream machine at McDonald's always broken? And someone who works at McDonald's might know the answer. I've read theories. I don't go to McDonald's enough to notice it as an issue. Apparently, their ice cream machines at McDonald's be broken a lot of the time. I mean, McDonald's fucking sucks ass. That's not the same amount of people who eat at McDonald's, because I've eaten at McDonald's too. It sucks ass. McDonald's sucks ass. It's also cheap and hot, so you know what you're getting. But just if you're choosing McDonald's when there's a Wendy's in town, I don't know what's wrong with you. Wendy's clearly superior. Doesn't actually suck ass the way McDonald's sucks ass. But right, so we've all had this idea. We've all had that experience. You knew something more, and maybe it's a more egregious example. Someone's really complained that they're casting blame. Let's say, and they're this is the thing I want to get at. It's that it's the way they're like complaining about or casting blame or proposing, what should happen. Maybe they've correctly identified a problem, but their like solution wouldn't work or wouldn't make sense, right? Because that could be the issue they're running or that could be like the issue you're noticing, that they've correctly identified a problem. Like, oh, ice cream machine's broken. People can't get ice cream when that happens. That's fucking annoying, and like you're onto something. That does sound fucking annoying. Do I want you mercenary bruiser? Glutton. I mean, you'd be cool just as a tank because your ability's cool. Mutant champ. I mean, what? What all can I really put down? I don't know. I'm holding on to different 5 cost units here because I don't know. Oh, I have a Negatron cloak. Shit, I should. I, I was not noticing that thing. Holy shit! Jesus fucking fuck. Fuck, you were a lot to deal with. All right there. Oh, that actually, I guess since that gets me another trait. What? That's a weird ability. That's neato. As I was saying, for this amazing video game continued to happen in front of my eyes. We're all aware that this is a thing that happens. That and it's because, right? Why would someone say things that are wrong? Okay, usually they're not doing it on purpose. It's that whole thing of people. It's pretty hard to know what you don't know, because how would you know? If you don't know it, then you just don't know. I'm trying to think of what to put Thirster on. It just makes a lot of sense for Tristana. She's the AD character, really, so. Chalice of Power, I guess it's going on to you two. There's use on her, but plenty of good use on Shepherd Scholar. Okay, whatever the level 5 Scholar is. Yeah. So people don't know what they don't know. And the issue then is like how do you get someone on the same page? How do you explain something to them? How do you convince them that you know some things that they don't, and that's why you're disagreeing with them? That you have a reason. You have like literally you have reasons why you disagree with them or why you're disputing or challenging the thing they're saying. What do you do? Let me guess. It's enemy attaches to people. We'll make it Big Tom Kench even bigger. Jesus, 30. Oh, okay, yeah, no. The high rank ones have to be like that. Because this can create a lot of conflict, or there's better and worse ways to go around it. Some of it's just a matter of it's something I've found to be true is that in order for a good conversation to happen, in order for a conversation to go well or be productive, it takes both sides, both parties. Whatever the two parties in the conversation are, they need to both be wanting to have a good conversation like that. I'm just gonna spend money. There's a term that's used. I see it used online a lot. I'm pretty sure it's spread out from there, and I can probably explain pretty quickly. But there's the terms bad faith and good faith. And the thing I'm kind of saying here is that it's if someone's committed enough to being in bad faith, you can't do anything productive, or at least not directly with them. Imagine a child throwing a tantrum and just sticking their fingers in their ear. They're not listening. Doesn't matter what the fuck you have to say. If they're not listening, they're not listening. Nothing you say is reaching through. Even if you take the fingers out of their ears and speak directly into their ear, mentally, they're not listening. It's going to go in one ear right out the other. It's not going to hit or connect for anything. So, it's time on my end to start getting a little high. So I will queue up for, I think, one more game here. Very quickly, take a little nibble on an edible. And I'm back. Because my plan had a little bit of the edible there. Because the idea is that edibles, they take like a fucking hour to kick in. There's like a bunch of memes about like, bro, this edible ain't shit. And then like 10 minutes later, the person's just like doubled over on the couch, like drooling. Because it's like, no, you gotta wait a fucking hour at least before. Just if you think the edible ain't shit, like hit the vape, hit a blunt, smoke something. Don't just do more edibles, because when they do hit, it's gonna be a lot. You gotta, you want to have a plan in place. If you're gonna hit like 3 edibles, bang bang bang, like you better have a nature documentary and some snacks in front of the couch, like ready to go, because that's all you're gonna be good for. So you might as well like prep for that. Also, I'm playing Team Fight with a controller because I just have it bound to my mouse because wrist issues. Gonna see a doctor about them sometime soon. Get that taken care of. But for now, yeah, it's carpal tunnel shit. So good to avoid a mouse. And with this game, it really doesn't matter if I'm using a controller to wiggle the mouse around. It's not really a reflex check. Oh, let's see. We're gonna go something other than Yordles here. But yeah, took a little edible there because my plan is after this. I think after this game, maybe I'll do one more if I feel compelled. Just making a video in my apartment here, but stop after that and just be high and play. I don't know, maybe play some more video games and just have a chill night. Get ready for get get some rest and fun in before I do work tomorrow. But some water. Well, let's see what Ezreal's shit is. So all right, all right. Let me just look at what Ezreal has. Innovator, scrap. Okay, I don't really understand the scrap thing. I guess it's more items. It encourages spreading items out between characters so that you. Oh yeah, no, that's Syndicate. Let's have fun. Let's have fun. Let's do the tanky thing. Let's just go like bodyguards. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can make just going like hard on bodyguards work. This would work well for bodyguards. Let's Pandora's. Random component at the start of each round. Items random. That's interesting, but fuck. Playing around that. And this one will work so well with bodyguards. Okay, wait, what's protector? What's protector? Protectors shield themselves for 6 seconds when they cast it. Okay, that's useful. That Let's cranks a bodyguard and a protector, so you would get it. But hold on, we're going bodyguards. Bodyguards the idea. We're gonna have fun doing things like that. What is Darius's move even? Okay, he hits stuff and then he heals himself. Yeah, Poppy's a good tank. Poppy can get this on fire. Poppy can be my low tier super tank. And I don't know, I guess the back line. We'll have Misfortune and Jin. Find out what works. So good faith, bad that faith. Back onto those. So yeah, the thing of bad faith, it's people don't realize when they're being in bad faith. It's like all this shit. It's subjective. I mean, someone can genuinely not think they're acting in bad faith when it turns out they are, because it's a subjective thing, and your own like biases and shit are gonna like really heavily, affect what you think is considered good or bad faith. And sometimes with stuff, it's also just understanding context. And it's like, shit's confusing because it's all tying into my general thing with misunderstanding. Because it's like another thing that can just make shit hard is that when people misunderstand, it's like with bad faith, sometimes you can't tell if someone's genuinely misunderstanding or if someone's purposefully misunderstanding. Like they're not trying to understand. And this isn't even necessarily inherently like a bad thing. I can think of an example where or it's that like certain forms of communication aren't about having a back and forth. They're not. They're just not about that. It's not why any of the people participating are like doing that, or just if you're expecting some kind of mutual back and forth when that isn't what the other person's there for, you're not going to get it, and you might be disappointed if you don't like change what your expectation was. So an example would be, say, like at a protest march. At a protest march, if people are like, well, it's like a very like basic, typical, it's just an organized sanctioned march. It's a big group of people. They're marching down a major city street. They've a bunch of them have signs, and some of them there's some like people leading the march, and they've got loudspeakers. and people are like yelling slogans and stuff. That's like that's like not yelling slogans is not intended to be like a back and forth transfer of data. And this ties into my thing I'm kind of saying where it's like I don't know when people are just misunderstanding genuinely or like intentionally misunderstanding. Because you run into this shit constantly with like political or like political slogans or like especially protest slogans where people act confused about a protest. Yeah, I'm saying act confused. I mean, some of them aren't acting, but it's people act confused about a protest slogan, and it's like so much of their confusion seems to require them like ignoring the basic point that like the protest slogan is in a lot of ways, it's meant for the protesters. It's like if you disagree with the protest and you don't understand the slogan, but it's like if you disagree with the general point of what the protest is, then the slogan doesn't fucking matter. Like if someone can explain, if it's a genuine misunderstanding, then okay. But there's the thing where it's fuck. What was he? Dancing around. I mean, I'll just pick a real example. Fuck it. I'm not dancing around. I was just setting up. Setup's done now. Back to the onto the point. Take something like BLM, Black Lives Matter. We in the USA, and I've shit. It's on my channel. That's part of why I put a couple videos of that when I have gone to BLM like protest marches uh, and I'll say I found them a very positive experience, and I'm really happy I went and partook in those things. I'm wondering, would assassins be better? Or snipers better? I did like two assassins. Yeah, I could have. Oh shit! I should put them near the front so they benefit from the thing. Yeah, maybe I'll have two assassins to go with all my bodyguards. That'd be fun. Yeah. So on the point though, BLM, Black Lives Matter. Here's the example I mean with people being like disingenuous. It's like, okay, let's say you've got some confusion over what it means. Just invent one. Just invent whatever sounds like a legitimate confusion someone could have in your head. Someone has that. Okay. So if you're confused about what it means, there are options available to you. A lot of them are going to be the same options as if you were confused about anything else in life. You could you could. I mean, option one is always you could just not give a shit and just like move on and not learn anything about it. You can just take a pass on things. I don't always learn what just because you hear about something doesn't mean you're obligated to go look up and find out more about it. You could just not give a shit. And I mean, that's something you got to kind of decide and filter out on your own because there are way, way too many possible things in the world to give a shit about for everyone to be giving a shit about them. Real quick, I just want to see what that goes. As there lands and deals damage, reduces their attack speed, gives attack speed. That's good shit. I'll put it on him, and all right, yeah, it scrapped him up to the Morellonomicon. That's good. But so you're a person who's confused, who doesn't understand BLM, and that could mean a lot of things. And it's like, oh, because what are you confused about? Someone could just literally not know what the acronym means, in which case it's Black Lives Matter, asked and answered, moving on. And then you could get to things about like, okay, what is the the general thrust of this protest message? What is it orientated for? What do the people who protest with BLM signs at a BLM event, what are they concerned about? What do they think the problem they're protesting against is? Because this right here, just right here already, it's like, this is the shit where just, I'm just gonna, just do the emotions for a second here, where I don't know why the fuck people don't just fucking learn about shit before they fucking talk about it. And this is where you end up thinking that a lot of people are disingenuous, because a lot of people are fucking disingenuous, and it's really fucking annoying, because then it's extra shit you have to check against. You can't, when you the effort to deal with or filter out disingenuous people is effort that's taken away from what could otherwise be genuine conversations. That's an interesting one right here, but we're not gonna do it. The bodyguard emblem. That one also seems kind of fun, but let's see. I mean, bodyguard emblem is, I'm literally going bodyguard, so. I'm trying to think about who I'd want to put it on now. Because it is just a it's a big armor boost. So I could just put it on. I guess I might as well put it on him for now, because it's not like it's bad to have it on him now. But then some of the say with BLM, like, maybe what it actually is that, maybe you do understand what it's about and you disagree with it. Or you think there's, like, not a problem. Just whatever the problem, you don't think it's whatever. But it's something to recognize, and that's why I'm happy. Is why it actually feels kind of satisfying, fulfilling for me to talk about this and know that someone could hear this and listen to it and learn from it, or maybe you already know it, or maybe this helps just kind of like it was already kind of there, but this hearing me talk about it helps like bring it to the surface or bring it forward a bit more, or it helps you just it's a different way of phrasing it, and that's gonna help you like if you need to talk to people in the future. It's like, oh, you've heard more about it. You've gotten a more well-rounded exposure to this idea just because you happen to listen to me talk about it, and I happen to be giving like worthwhile and not shitty takes. And that's a door because Gene's home, back from the gym. How's the gym? All right. I know you don't want to be in the video, so. I mean, you're fine in the background. And let's see the protectors dumped. Partner just came back from the gym. I don't know what, if any, part of that I'm editing around, but it's fine and good. So like I was saying, this shit really frustrates me, and I think I've been kind of building up to it, but it frustrates me because it gets in the way of making any actual progress. It's like it's a big time waste, and a lot of times that it's happening, I don't think people really recognize, or like people can do it unintentionally, or there can be people who spread information in such a way that it leads to people having like these misunderstandings, and it's like it's all this shit you have to like untie. You have to work through all these layers of like bullshit that have been stacked up before you can actually get to the real shit. Get to the thing that's actually supposed to be in contention, or get to the realization that the other person like doesn't actually know what the fuck they're talking about, and hopefully they could, be talked to in a way where they would learn some things about what the fuck they're talking about. Because if they cared enough to be talking about it, they hopefully care enough to be, like, not totally misinformed about it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep using BLM as the example here because I think it just fits pretty well. Where it's, again, it's like, right, someone says they don't understand BLM or they don't get it. Like, there's one question, one side here is what is it that they're actually referring to? Is it that they literally don't understand the meaning of the acronym? Because, like I said, it's Black Lives Matter. That's a real quick question. So that can't possibly be their question or concern because that shit takes about 5 seconds to figure out, and then you just have to remember that that is the thing that it is. So that's not really it. That can't be it. What does the spatula turn into? Mutant. Oh, but I do got two assassins now. Yeah. And okay, so maybe they think they disagree with the motives or the goals or intentions of BLM. And this is like we've like I said, in terms of the layers of bullshit, we've at least gotten down another layer here. We're closer to something a bit real. But a thing you'll find, or a thing I've found, is that this isn't everybody. That just you can talk to, or you can, see a conversation from someone who disagrees with BLM, but then the things they say about their disagreement show that they lack some information, or they're lacking some knowledge, or they're lacking some context. And that's because you recognize it because you do have that knowledge or that context where the thing they're saying doesn't make sense. They're saying something that you have reasons that it's wrong. So if they're honest and genuine and not purposefully trying to be deceitful, they must be lacking that information. At least this is the way I tend to approach and think about a lot of stuff. I mean, because try to be real, cover all possibilities. Because yeah, they can just be I could be dishonest and lying. There's plenty of fucking liars in the world. People can make plenty of money for themselves by fucking lying. It's a problem. Oh, go Poppy, go. Kick his ass. Fuck yeah. There we go. Very nice. But it's also this is stuff that can be sussed out. That you can, if you know things about the topic. I guess it's kind of one of those things where it's at least very possible to do like relativistic judgments of just if the person is saying stuff that isn't correct and isn't right, then that probably means, at least on whatever the very specific thing that they're wrong about here, that you know more than them about that, because that's how you're able to tell that they're wrong, because you have the knowledge that they're seemingly lacking. And, the thing where shit's hard there is it's the good faith, bad faith that someone could be wrong and you could be right, and you could tell them, you could say a sentence or two that explains why they're wrong, but they might still disagree anyway. It's not a silver bullet. It doesn't, just because you say a correct thing at someone doesn't mean they're going to understand it, doesn't mean they're going to trust you, doesn't mean fuck that. Doesn't mean they'll accept it. And that's another, all these things tie together. I just keep going. It's a big complicated topic. I've seen a lot of political discussions and shit. And this is the way things seem to break down, as far as I can ever tell. Okay. Oh, I ended up with 3 syndicates. That's cool. With academies. Dope. Godly. What does Yumi do? Attach up to nearest ally or the lowest out there. Well, I read some of that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Once I got all the bodyguards here, right? It's like just put some five cost units like Yumi in. And so far, the bodyguard shit is working pretty well. So that's fun. Let's see. Am I gonna get my 3rd augment? Yes, I am. Gain an assassin emblem. Gain a random component every 3 combat rounds. With the scrap trade active. Units heal 6. That's not. That's. It's not bad. It's like. I mean, objectively, that's nice if that gets triggered. Oh yeah, I'll put Yumi in one of the first 2 rows, so you also benefit from that damn thing. Put it on just for. I'm not paying that much attention to my team, as you can tell, because I'm actually talking more in this one. So turning around, it's again. I realize as I talk that there's a topic that I at least could talk about for literal fucking hours, and not doing that today. Don't have time for it, but I'm gonna forgive myself for a bit of the hopping around because it's justified, and this is like I was talking way early on with the video essays and stuff. Where like there's a lot of different things that can come together here, provide all sorts of different. It's like if a circle is 360 degrees, you don't need every single one of those degrees to be filled in before you can start to realize that it's a circle you're dealing with. There's a lot of different ways you could reach that same and correct conclusion. They're like, oh, it's a circle. I can see 75% of it, and it looks like a fucking circle, so it's probably a circle. Oh, I guess just put in the other high rank copy. Hi, Blitz. You can get it's stupid on Blitz. I don't care. Fuck it. Oh, well, here. So I'll lead. I got it in my head, so I'll lead into it. So it's about where someone's wrong about something. Now, I'm not even talking about some specific thing about BLM. I was using them as a pertinent modern example that people talk about plenty. But moving forward, not even talking about like a specific thing about BLM here. Let's just say, in the more generic sense, you're in the situation where someone's wrong about something. You know they're wrong because you have more info that like contradicts or goes beyond what they're showing, what they're demonstrating. And again, to clarify, there's always a possibility that, I mean, there's info you don't know. You're probably not the world leading expert on the topic, so there could be info that you don't know, and that additional info would actually still further contradict like what you were saying or what you were thinking. It can happen. That's why sometimes it's like, I don't know, that's why debate is an old idea. You get the two people up there and they just have their best go at each other. Because if it's like the reason in the USA we have the two sides for lawyers in a legal case, because the two sides are opposed to each other. So if one of them is missing something, like the other side has every incentive to fucking get them on that because they're in a direct conflict. So it's worth it to, it's a big incentive. If your opponent's missing something, you can contradict them on it. That's a real, yeah, that's just some fucking helpful shit on your end to be able to pull off. Okay, I want another scholar. Another scholar. Oh, we actually got all sorts of different items to pick from here. Yeah, I might just go for the gloves. Fuck. Damn. Speak of the devil. I don't have something that already did this, right? Yeah, okay. Put that on Shaco. Let's reduce their armor. Make their lives worse. And if I could just get a fucking scholar here. Cool. Neat. So yeah, on the thing where but it's like how do you make them listen? And it's one of those things about, okay, so someone's, you don't think that you're wrong, right? We can try to like flip it a bit. This is pretty, I don't know, I find it pretty useful to just with understanding these kind of like political or conversational conflicts. Like try to put yourself in both sides and not in some bullshit meme way, but just like legitimately as a, wow, I'm on an 11 streak, as a way to understand that just from the other person, what are they seeing? What are they getting? What's the playing field look like from their starting position? And this is one of those things where, yeah, you can't do this perfectly because, again, we're all just humans. We're all limited to what our own knowledge is. You don't, it can be pretty hard to know your own mental state, let alone someone else's, and you don't know what all of someone's life experiences are. So you don't, if there's certain biases or just certain like experiences or just particular pieces of info that are motivating their viewpoint, and you don't know what those are, it's at least being aware that those things could exist. Again, this is why I think it's helpful to talk about this stuff, because maybe you're not aware of what all the other person's biases are that would be motivating them, but if you're at least aware of the idea that they could be in some way motivated or biased by experiences they've had, if you at least know that that's a possibility, you can at least like try to work around that or figure out what those biases and experiences might be, or figure out, or just like tailor and tweak what you're saying and how you're saying it to be something they'll more be able to like get behind and put together and make sense of in their own head. Right? And I'm just, I'm trying to just describe effective communication here. So, if if doing these things makes you better at communicating, then why wouldn't you do them, right? Let's get the rage blade off Blitzcrank. That's not fucking doing anything for anybody. I'll put that on you, mate. Why not? You has got something that Deals damage. Right. So for political effectiveness, right, there's something to think of is why would someone who already disagrees with you change their mind? What would it take? How would it happen? What would be the actual sequence of events that leads there? Is that something you're going to be able to do? Which kind of ties back to the example I was giving about like a protest march where, the something to recognize that like a lot of the value in a protest march is in like, so it's a lot of different angles, but it's not like the point of a protest isn't, it's not even like the main purpose of like changing the minds of your opposition. Why the fuck would a protest march do that? Right? Think about why, if you're opposed to something, why would seeing a protest march for the opposite angle of it, what part of that would change your mind? It has effects, and I'll describe, but it's like, it's something to recognize that, oh, the point of that probably isn't to change people who are directly opposed minds, which then also ties into the people being disingenuous with their complaints. Because if someone who's, well, I'll give an example, but if a white supremacist says they don't understand BLM, it's like, if a white supremacist says they don't like BLM marches, like, that's not a fault of BLM marches. They're not for white supremacists to like. You wouldn't expect them to like it. And I won't spend a whole ton of time here on what the point and purpose of like protest marches is, because it's a big topic and there's like different types and ways to protest, and it's like the environment, what kind of environment you're in can like affect, or the position, how much support do you have for your position, or how much is it like a very new thing where you're just trying to like get the idea. That shit can vary a lot, so I'm not gonna go into it now because that's like another whole huge topic. But it's like, yeah, I say this because I think it's useful. It's useful for anybody. If you're someone, you're out there, and maybe you balk at the term white supremacist because you're a, what's that? I'm not going to be any nicer with this word, so I don't know why I'm stopping to consider it so much. You're a paleo conservative. I think that's the one I remember hearing, where just I've heard from conversations Mr. Vosh has had with people who are fucking Nazis. I don't even know why people who dispute that they're Nazis despite the fact that they're fucking Nazis. I don't know what champs I'm grabbing. Oh shit, I didn't even put that blade on anybody. Well, next round. But I was giving an example I'm thinking of. I got kind of lost on it. Say you're a person, again, just think about it, it's like, if you're a person who's opposed to BLM, no shit, you're not going to like BLM marches. You're opposed to them in some way. So something to consider, and this is like a more universal principle. I'm framing it from this side. I'm giving advice to my enemies here because, I mean, this little thing I'll add, but the common trait I notice in right wingers is an inability to fucking learn new information or like process things that aren't just like emotionally targeted. So I don't really feel too bad that I'm like giving a tip to the enemy here, because motherfuckers are too stupid to put into action. Like, lol, whatever. I mean, their fucking problem. But it's like double-end aspects of this. Okay, so someone who's opposed to BLM, you should understand that a BLM protest isn't for you. You're not gonna like it because you're opposed to BLM. You don't think there's problems with systemic racism or with police violence. Or again, because it's like, if you did, you wouldn't be raising that much of a fuss about how fucking BLM goes about it. I have no idea what my team comp is right here. What the fuck is Fiora even doing? I don't know why I have Fiora in. All right, I just grabbed it randomly because I needed something that was at. I just needed someone to fill the space. See who else I can get. So then, other thing to realize though, this is what I'm kind of trying to build towards a bit. I guess we got is that from the other end though, since I'm not a right winger who's opposed to BLM, but I can recognize that like a right winger might be opposed to BLM or what was saying here? Saying is, since I'm aware that someone who's opposed to BLM wouldn't like a BLM march regardless, if I'm hearing from if someone who's opposed to BLM is telling me about how they found the march so disdainful and it was so counterproductive, the things they were doing that march, it's not getting them any closer to their goals. It's like, well, hang on, I know you already fucking disagree with the group, so why are you wasting my time? Like, I think like you genuinely, like, you don't agree with the group, and I know you don't agree with the group, so I know you shouldn't like shit the group gets up to, probably. So like, don't feign concern to me because I'm not gonna buy it. It's like, then I get to play the game of like, okay, are you being disingenuous or are you just like being dumb in some way and lacking information? Because it's good stuff to just realize from your end. I don't know. I'll give me an example. A pro-life rally, because I think abortions are the coolest thing in the world. So pro-life rallies are not my jam. Now I get that a pro-life rally would not be my jam, and I know that the things pro-lifers would say at a pro-life rally are going to be things I disagree with. I know this. And that'll be the last game, because I'm going to try to close off a bit here. But so it's like, in terms of if I'm ever discussing the topic of abortion, it's like, it'd be a real waste of time if I was trying to, it's like, at a certain point, right? If it's a pro-life rally and I'm pro-choice, these are stupid fucking terms, so they're the common terms. It's like, why would a pro-choice person be genuinely explaining to a pro-life person how to make the pro-life rally more appealing to pro-choicers? Or, let's see, clarify this down even more, because it's not that it would necessarily be ingenuine, it's that it's misguided, right? Because the pro-life and pro-choice things are pretty like diametrically opposed. Abortion's either legal or it's fucking not. Right? There's not, you can do things about certain like time limits or restrictions, but you still gonna run into conflicts, right? There's like pretty strict binary on what the like sides are here. And yeah, so it's just like because these two sides are opposed, the issue would be that in order for a pro-life rally to be more appealing to pro-choicers, it would probably, to some extent, be losing what's appealing to the pro-lifers. And from the perspective of if you're someone who's putting on the pro-life rally, well, what are you more concerned about? Is this going to be the pro-life rally for people who are pro-choice? Because like yeah, I can just say like off the top of my head, I don't know how the fuck you construct that. Because pro-choicers are gonna, if they show up, it's gonna be to counter-protest you because they disagree on the fucking like actual fundamental issue. So like, how you dress it up or present the topic might not really do you much good. And then you might end up being unappealing to the pro-lifers who, they're pro-lifers and they want to go to the pro-life protest march. They're there to do that. They're not. They're not here to. They're not interested in having their opinions moderated by a honest, fruitful back and forth discussion with the pro-choice side. Because no, they're pro-lifers and they're at the pro-life march, so they want to keep being pro-lifers. The only reason for them to talk to the pro-choicers would be to, in some way, benefit or advance the pro-life movement's goals. And this is shit where it's like when I'm describing it, it's like this seems like in a way this is really like kind of basic obvious stuff, or just it's like this is like the mechanics, right? This is like the actual baseline mechanics of what like people are actually doing or what like a protest movement is actually about. It's like I'll say like with Teamfight Tactics, I was just playing, for the past hour here. There's all these different characters and abilities and there's graphics and it's very pretty. But you notice when I was clicking on units and they had the little stat screen pop up that like say in terms of the mechanics, it's like the actual attack damage, attack speed, armor, magic resist, health total. Like those are important mechanics to it's if you understand not if you don't understand that shit, it's gonna cause you problems playing team fight tactics if you don't know how to properly quantify that the bodyguard trait I was building there was giving all my bodyguards like plus 400 armor. If you don't have a good understanding about like the mechanic of armor and how it relates to the mechanic of health and how it relates to the mechanic of attack damage, because your armor is reducing the physical damage you take, which is from the enemy's attack damage. And the more you understand these mechanics and understand the interplay, the more you can make like good decisions about like, should I stack even more armor on my bodyguards, or would I say that the armor they get from the trait is enough and it'd be better to put some magic resist on them to fill them out? But then understanding the mechanic of, hey, why are armor and magic resist different? Well, they come from different types of damage that tend to be delivered in different ways. It's like, well, okay, what's the difference there? Well, physical damage tends to be more consistent because it can come from auto attacks that are just continually going, whereas magic damage is more likely from abilities, which are going to come out in a big burst of doing the thing and then have to get built back up to again. So they're different and they play out differently. But the reason for that is because of just the whole damn way the whole entire general game is constructed. And that description of like armor and magic resist, that's not even just teamfight tactics, that's just League of Legends in general. And that's why like a thing that if you're a newer player in League of Legends, you might notice that it's like generally kind of easier or cheaper to get armor. Like in game, it costs less usually to get a point of armor compared to a point of magic resist. And it's like, that's on purpose, which then leads you to the interesting question of, okay, why? Why aren't they treated equally? Because there's a similar thing with attack damage and ability power. Items that give ability power give more ability power than items that give attack damage give attack damage. And there's a reason for that. And understanding the reason for that and how it ties into the mechanics of things like, a ranged carry being able to continually auto attack versus a burst mage who gets all their ability power and enhanced damage out in a few seconds and then doesn't have shit to do for 5 or 10 seconds. That helps you fill out an understanding about why they're like treat, even though they're very similar stats, one boosts physical damage and one boosts magic damage, there still end up being this like whole contrasting web of differences in how they're costed and how they're slotted onto items and why so many items have just one or the other. Some items have attack damage and ability power, but like that's a minority. A lot of items, it's just one of them because it's like separate. They branch off. They start at dealing increased damage, but the way they go about it is different. And that's 2 fucking stats in 1 fucking video game. Real life shit's even more complicated than that. Yeah, so shit. I'm just gonna stop here. I'm getting to a good. I feel like I'm getting going now, but that's incentive for another video. But yeah, it's just like general thing to keep in mind for anyone who hears this. Just think about just how would someone else react to what I'm doing? How would someone react to someone doing this? In a hypothetical, how would someone react to a person behaving or doing a certain thing? And plan accordingly. It's you get a lot further and you spend a lot less time being lost or I don't know, it's like on political issues, just people will adopt a political position because they've heard it and they won't have thought through all the implications of it because they don't know what they don't know. But then it's like the thing where it's real frustrating is that that person can have it like pointed out or revealed to them in some way that there's a bunch of like missing gaps in their understanding of this political issue, and then that like won't fucking amount to anything. They'll just keep they won't have ever thought about what the punishment for women who get abortions should be in a world where abortion's illegal, but then you point that out to them, and then they still don't ever actually fucking think about it, and they just keep going to pro-life protest even though it's clear that they don't actually know what the fuck it is they want because they haven't actually bothered to think through any of the implications because they've probably been told the people they got it from didn't tell them to do that or do any of that for them, so they're not doing it either. And shit, man, that'll be the lead into the next topic because that's some of all what I'm trying to build into. It's this big comprehensive thing about communication and ideas and how they spread and how people can take efforts to spread them and be more productive in the changing of minds because I guess this is where I end up having I've got like a sympathy towards the like left-wing anarchic political theories. I need to read more of them, but I sometimes think where it's like just you need everyone on the same page. Sometimes I end up thinking that a lot of the problems are just the things that would be required for like a better political system to happen. You would need people to be on the same page, just relatively or for certain things. Like we can look at America now and there's people who still think Donald Trump is the shadow president and the Biden body double is like fuck, like that's not enough. Like we're not like that's not close enough. Me and someone like that, we're not close enough. Like we can't productively engage in politics together because that's too many fucking walls between where we both are fucking at. So like we need people closer. The shit, I think shit works out better that way, and I think that you gotta disseminate the information. You gotta get everyone on the same page. It's like if you change the minds, if enough minds change, if all the minds change, if a majority of the minds change and are in agreement with something, then that's just kind of the way it is. Like I don't know, I'll just quick example to finish off on, but it's something like, let's say women's suffrage, the right for women to vote. You know, there was a long time in America where women couldn't vote, and then there was a big movement and a lot of protests and a lot of fucking shit. A lot of people went through a lot of effort. A lot of women got in trouble, got beat up or assaulted at points. I'm sure some of those suffragettes kicked some people's asses too. Good for them. Fuck those people who were opposed to them. But yeah, this was a big struggle, and I mean, I'd encourage anyone to read up about it because there's a real fun, a really funny thing. It makes me really laugh at this that we live in a society that if you look up old controversies, you can find a lot of fucking parallels to modern ones. And I'm gonna let you in on a theory I'm working on, but from all the time I've looked at controversies and big political movements in the past, the conservatives and the right wingers and the authoritarians are always fucking wrong. They're always fucking wrong. If you learn history, you get to see over the span of human history how being shitty, bigoted sexists who are like way too selfishly scared to ever let anything good happen to anybody else is actually like really fucking counterproductive and is always like really fucking just stupid and ass backwards when you look at it from a more modern lens where you're not like biased to already think that way. And okay, yeah, my closer's just gonna keep going here. So stopping now.